Okay, sorry, I was mute again. Thanks for telling me that, Jose Lito. I was reading through the comments. Nice to see you all again. Jose Lito, Joe Romero, Michelle Gomez, Dean Mark. Welcome to the show. Tonight we have a very sound not clear. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Hi, can you hear? Sorry, my connection is not that good now. Loud and clear now. Okay. Thanks for checking on the sound for me. Okay. Tonight we have two very special guest speaker, Jeffrey C. and Jake Artus. Both of them will be joining us here tonight, and will be sharing their views on the market tonight. Okay. This week has been a very wild week. We can see that gold has fluctuated, very volatile this couple of days. Hi, good evening, Leo, and good evening, Makwiwi. Okay, nice to see you again. Okay. Just before I invite both of them to speak, let me introduce to our company for those who are new to our show. Okay, we are XAU. I'm Christopher, and welcome to XAU Merlion live stream show, where we discuss about what's going on in the markets. Okay. Before we begin, let me introduce our company. XAU Merlion is a forex broker licensed and regulated in Cambodia. We provide a trading platform for all our clients to trade forex and CFDs. We provide competitive spreads, quick execution, and 24/7 support. If you wish to start trading with us, drop us a message or on our Facebook, or you can message our representatives and they will attend to you shortly. Do also like our Facebook page and share to all your friends and families who are interested in actually trading in forex. Okay, let's continue on with the show. Tonight is our 16th episode, and we'll be discussing on what has happened this week. As you can see that markets, especially the gold price and the stock market, has been very volatile this week because of the Fed FOMC this week. Okay, it will be discussed more by Jeffrey and Jake later. Okay, so let me invite both of them over to the show now. Wow. Hi, Rose. Good evening. Nice to see you. Okay, let me invite both of them. Hi, Jeffrey and Jake. Good evening to both of you.
Good evening.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, good evening.
Okay, maybe Jeff, we can start with you first. Maybe you can tell us what has happened this week in the market, and what do you think we'll expect will happen in the following next few days or next week.
All right, let's get started. First of all, it's Chinese New Year next week. I would like to wish everyone here happy Chinese New Year and happy trading. I think this week we can see there's quite a lot of things going on. Even right now, this week we see Australia inflation beating expectation. The Euro PMI beating expectation as well. The Fed on Thursday, it's quite a lot of things going on. Yes, good afternoon. The Fed on Thursday signals the first US rate hikes since the pandemic coming in March. This will actually end the era of all easy money that actually fueled the Wall Street record setting during the pandemic. We can see inflation surge pushes the Fed into more than 4 rate hikes this year. That means the Fed is expected to conduct 4 rate hikes this year. So we can see markets selling off in anticipation of the meeting. We can see if you take a look at US equity, NASDAQ 100, the US 30 which is heavy with tech stocks and American equities. We can see that they have lost 7% this week as compared to last week. There's a huge sell-off this week, and we will expect more in the coming months. We can also see a huge movement in gold and dollar pair currencies. Let's see what to expect next week for gold and euro dollar. Today we will talk about a bit more. So let's start with gold first. All right, just let me share the screen for my gold chart. Okay, so everyone can see the gold chart. Gold has continued losing its ground for the third straight day and dropped to a 3-week low. Gold extended the post-FOMC decline. Even before the FOMC meeting, you can see gold has already dropped quite a bit. And on 3 a.m. On Thursday itself in the morning, after FOMC released their meetings and minutes, we witnessed some follow-through selling for the third consecutive day, which is today on Friday. Expectation for more aggressive policy by the Fed, of course, with the elevated US Treasury bond yields, pushes the dollar to the highest level since last year. So we can see dollar has already appreciated a lot during the past few days, and is expected to do so in the next few months, with expectation that the Fed is going to rate hike 4 times this year. So I expect traders now to eye on US macro release, which is going to happen shortly, the core personal consumer expenditure price index. However, I don't think this will pose much of a price movement later on. From a technical perspective, we can see gold has now confirmed a near-term bullish break, extending from the August 2021 swing low. This has in turn support prospect for future depreciation move, meaning to say below 1759 remains the way to clear for retest of key price and retracement support. Meaning to say if it breaks 1759, the next level that we see will be 1690. Only below here, then we can see a major top established to mark an important change of the trend, with support further down at 1620 and even maybe to 1572. So let's take a look at the gold 4-hour chart. We can see since Wednesday, even before the FOMC meeting, at about 185050, gold has tanked all the way till now and has reached a major support at this level. However, we are not sure that whether it will still continue to go down, but we can see some buyers going on at this level. It has to depend really, because I feel that it might go even lower with all the Fed rate hikes expectation coming in. So let's see what's going to happen in the next week. But for now, in the volatile market, trade safe. Moving on to euro dollar, which I'll talk a bit more about. We can see euro dollars continue to trade in the negative territory below 1.115. It's now trading at around 1.1137. Euro dollar sheds ground for the 5th consecutive session, which is today, dropping to the level last traded in June 2020. Moving forward, we can see dark clouds palming up when it comes to the outlook for euro dollar, particularly in the light of the Fed start of the tightening cycle and the expected interest hike in the ECB. Euro dollar has broken the trend line draw since November, resulting in a downward momentum. Below here, this most popular currency pair could sustain further loss towards 1.104. We can see euro dollar with the expectation of the Fed rising in the interest euro dollar might depreciate further. And the failure to reclaim 1.127 and 1.13 level can lead to a continuation in downtrend. The next objective that we should look out for is level at 1.125 and 1.109. So we can see in the 4 hours and the daily chart, it's actually in a downtrend. And it might go even further to 1.112. So we can see there's a sharp drop. And we have to see what's going to happen next week with this in mind that the Fed is going to increase interest rate in the next March, which is confirmed, and of course 4 times this year. This is something to look out for. We all know that inflation now is a major issue. However, with the interest rate now in play, we shall see a lot of market confusion going on. So to trade safe, the market is very volatile this week. And moving on, maybe Jake can share a bit more.
Okay, sir. So let me just share my screen, sir. Okay. Okay, so good evening everyone. Good evening po sa mga nandiyan sa Pilipinas. So, share ko lang po yung mangyayari dito sa ating gold. Okay, so sa gold po. So, technical analysis po ng ating gold. So, kung mapapansin nyo po, nagkaroon tayo ng rejection pagdating sa 1780 level. So, nag-react po yung gold dyan, 1780 level. So, ina-expect po natin na magkakaroon niya ng retracement hanggang 1800 level po, 1800 po. Okay, so retracement stage po siya dyan. So, once na ma-break po niya yung 1800, so ina-expect natin na akit pa yan sa next resistance level niya, which is yung 1810. Okay, so kung magkakaroon naman po ng breakout pagdating po rito sa 1780 level, so ang titignan niyo po in higher time frame yan, kukuha po yan ng next support level niya, which is yung 1772, 1750 po, 50, 1750. Okay, so andito po yan. Pakita ko sa inyo, 1750 level. So ito po yung 1750 level. So pwede niya po maabot yan sa susunod pa mga araw. Pero syempre, hindi naman agad-agad yung bababa ng ganong kabilis. So magkakaroon yan ng mga retracement. So ina-expect ko yung retracement from 1795 to 1800. Andiyan magre-retrace yan. So as of now, yes, nasa 1788 level na po tayo. Diba? So yan po yung nakikita ko. And then, kung titignan rin naman natin yung AUD-USD, diba? Which is almost correlated po yun. Yan. So, in-expect pa natin ng AUD-USD is babagsak pa po yan in longer term. Okay? So, mas bababa pa po yan. So, sasabay po dyan ang gold sa pagbaba ng AUD-USD na yan. Okay? So, nakikita nyo naman po sa lahat na nandyan, di ba? So, yan yung ina-expect natin na bababaan ng AUD-USD. Which is ito pong level na to. So, nandiyan sa mga level na yun, 0.66, 726. So, possible po na bumaba dyan ng AUD-USD or mas bababa pa po. Diba? So, yan po yung nakikita natin. Since nakikita natin yung continuation pattern diba, na nandito sa AUD-USD. Okay, I think, sir, I already tell them what will happen for the next few days and few weeks, sir.
Okay, thank you, Jake, and thank you, Jeff, for both of your analysis. Okay, that was very, very well insight. So maybe we can ask our audience here who are watching, if you have any questions about the markets, please do feel free to ask both Jeffrey or Jake here, so we can answer them tonight. Okay. Maybe Jeff, I ask you a question. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned that the Fed will most likely raise interest rate 4 times this year. What do you see will happen to the US dollar and gold? Do you see after the Fed increase the interest rate, will gold go down further or will it increase? And same goes for the US dollar. Do you see further appreciation of the US dollar?
Yes, I think as we have seen in 2008 and 1998, both crises, with the increase in interest rate, we can see the appreciation in dollar. And this will lead to a lot of conversion, meaning to say, with the increase in interest rates, we can see a lot of decline in the stock equity market because now cost of borrowing has increased. And of course, people will tend to turn to higher interest assets such as US bond, which is in turn will appreciate the US dollar. And gold in the aspect because it's gold against the dollar. So if dollar were to appreciate, gold might come down further. One thing for sure is with the rise and rate hikes, we can see the dollar appreciating. However, is it sustainable and will the Fed change along the way? It's hard to say. But for now, the rate hikes in March has confirmed, and we are expecting the Feds to do more rate hikes in this year. As they have mentioned last year, they are targeting unemployment issues, and this year they will be targeting inflation issues.
Okay, thanks, Jeff, for answering the question. Yeah. And there's further concerns with, I think, in the political stage here. Recently, the tension between US and between US, EU, and with Russia. So with the ongoing tensions in Europe, will the gold price be affected as well? So.
In my opinion, the tension has been ongoing for quite some time. We can also see tensions between other countries as well, North Korea, China, Taiwan. We can see all the tensions going on in the world. However, I think gold price will not increase unless there's really an outbreak, war outbreak, meaning to say some US has decided to go on war with some countries. Then, of course, commodity prices, not just gold, oil will also definitely increase and they will spike their prices up a lot.
Yes, I think we can see that oil is actually going higher this few weeks, these few days. I think it's almost $87 per barrel.
Yes, we can see based on past history, if a war is to outbreak, commodity prices will definitely increase in price. However, at the current situation, I do not think that any war is going to outbreak soon. So we shall see how it goes as COVID is still in the midst of the economy. So I think this is still quite an issue as compared to having a war, which we can't solve even the pandemic right now.
I see. Okay, we have a comment here by Chung Golfo about the pandemic in US. How affect will be the US currency? Jake, do you know how to answer this question? Maybe you could help to
Okay, sir.
answer.
I will answer her, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So, para kay Cheng Golfo, sabi niya, paano ba makaka-apekto yung pandemic natin dito sa US currency? So, kung mapapansin mo naman, unti-unti nang nagkakaroon ng pag-adapt dito sa COVID natin, di ba? So, hindi na siya totally nagiging hadlang sa mga nagiging sa economy ng Amerika o kahit saan sa Pilipinas, di ba? Hindi naman siya ganoon nakaapektado. Kaya kasi meron na tayong mga vaccines na lumalabas. So, na totally na parang na-adapt na natin yung COVID mismo. Namumuhay na tayo sa COVID. So, parang normal na sa atin. So, ganoon din yung nagiging epekto niya sa economy natin, di ba? So, unti-unti, hindi naman na totally babagsak yung economy dahil sa COVID. Kasi, nakaka-recover na nga tayo. Kung mapapansin mo, nakaka-recover na kahit dito sa Cambodia, mararamdaman mo yung recovery stage ng Cambodia. Unti-unti nagiging okay yung economy rito sa Cambodia. Same sa other country. Ganyan din yung nagiging effect niya. Same as US, syempre, di ba? So, nakaka-adapt na yung mga tao. dito sa COVID situation natin. Yeah, that's it, sir.
Okay, thank you, Jake, for answering Chen Gofo's question, and thank you for your question. Okay, no, yeah. Okay. Okay. Do we have any more questions before we end the show tonight? I think as a trade, okay, Chen Gofo. So as a trader, we only concern is political issue only. Okay, Jake, do you want to answer her? Okay.
Yeah, sure, sir. Okay, so as a trader, di ba, pag-uusapan natin fundamental analysis, di ba, fundamentals. So, hindi lang tayo nakafocus, syempre, sa political issue na meron yan. So, kasama rin di ba, yung kung ano yung nangyayari sa economic status ng bansa. Hindi lang puro political issue yung ating, yung tinututukan, syempre. Pero nakaka-apekto rin kung ano yung mga current status ng bansa, di ba, kung mapapansin mo naman. So, hindi lang puro dyan sa political issue yung ating focus pag nagpe-trade tayo, syempre. So, that's it, sir. Yeah.
Thanks, Jake. I think we have one more question from Michael Bryan. Question, sir, how about if the war of Russia and Ukraine will start, it may affect the US market. Okay, maybe Jeff has shared with us just now. Maybe Jeff, could you help to explain to Michael? Jeff, you're mute.
Yeah, in my current opinion, Michael, I do not think that any war will break out between Russia and Ukraine. However, if the war of Russia and Ukraine will start, it will definitely affect the US market. First of all, if a war starts between Russia and Ukraine, the US will definitely step in. One thing to look out for is commodity prices. Of course, gold and oil will definitely spike and increase in value because gold is seen as a safe haven and US dollar is also seen as a safe haven. And of course, oil is needed to fuel the war between Russia and Ukraine. And of course, it will affect the US market in the sense US dollar will be seen as a better investment as compared to any other Russian and Ukraine neighbors like euro dollar, which will be definitely affected.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jeff. Maybe to add on to Michael's question is that other than a gold and oil price, will the war cause supply shortages around the world? But in turn, after that, will increase the pressures on inflation as well. So,
Yes, we can definitely see if there's a war outbreak. I think things like cryptocurrency will definitely might not be seen as something of a value. If there's a war outbreak, I think things that are physical things like oil, of course, food commodities like orange juice, wheat, all these things will definitely go up in price. And things that are not physical will definitely not be seen as valuable as compared to all these things, especially during an outbreak of a war.
mhm. Okay. Thanks, Jeff, for answering the question, and thanks, Michael, for your question. Okay. Hope that helps. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. Mm-hmm. Any more questions before we end the show? Okay. I think we can end here. This weekend will be. I think everyone's going to prepare for Chinese New Year around the world in most of the Asian countries. Wish everybody a happy Lunar Chinese New Year, and in Philippines and those who are celebrating Chinese New Year. 恭喜发财, Happy New Year, and wish everybody have a prosperous year ahead of the Year of the Tiger. Mhm. Okay, before we end, okay, I wish to thank you, Jeffrey and Jake, to the show again. Thanks, both of you, sharing your opinions and views on the markets. And thanks all our viewers here who have joined us again this week. And we hope to see you next week again on our live show again. Okay. Okay. So thanks, Jeff and Jake. Thanks for joining the show. So I'll wrap up the show. Okay. Okay. Good evening, guys. Have a good weekend. Mhm.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend ahead.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you. Happy Chinese New Year.
Yep. Happy Chinese New Year to you all as well. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Okay. So I'll end the show tonight. Okay. Thanks, Rose. Thanks, Jeanette, Lida, and Elijah Keith. Okay. Good night to y'all. And good evening. Goodbye. Thanks, Mary. Bye bye, and see y'all next week again.